On your bike, in association with Safer Roads Humber, taking road safety seriously.
Scunthorpe, an industrial garden town and the UK's largest steel processing centre. It lies on a rich bed of iron ore and limestone, crucial in the manufacturing of steel. Scunthorpe is the result of 5 villages merging: Scunthorpe, Frodingham, Crosby, Ashby and Brumby, which still remain districts of the borough of Scunthorpe today. Now, the town appears in the 1086 Domesday Book as Scunthorpe, Old Norse for Skimmer's homestead. It's believed the site is in the town centre, close to where the present-day Market Hill is located. The steel industry is a major employer in the area, and the largest operator is Tata Steel. Steel made in Scunthorpe has been used in a wide range of applications, including the construction of the Petronas Towers in Malaysia and the Singma Bridge in Hong Kong. But it's art we're talking about now. 2021 is Scunthorpe's premier venue for the contemporary visual arts. It's situated in the former St John's Church in the town centre right next door to the new University Technical College. St John's Church held its final service in April 1984, remaining derelict until 2000, when it was converted into an art centre with 6 gallery spaces showcasing spectacular work by contemporary artists and makers. But why is the centre called 2021? Simple. The conversion started in the 20th century and was completed in the 21st century. Dominic, 2021, I believe it's on the site of a former church. Tell me about its history.
Yes, that's right. It's built in the former St John's Church that was built at the end of the 19th century in Scunthorpe when the population exploded because of the steel industry. And the church fell into disrepair during the 1970s and was bought by the council, and there was a lot of discussions on what to do with it, and it ended up being turned into this beautiful art gallery.
Beautiful art gallery. So why was it set up then, 2021, as an art gallery and cultural venue?
I think it was just a case of there not being a lot of galleries or art in the area at the time. If you look at this region, I mean, obviously there's great galleries in Harland, Sheffield and Lincoln, but actually in the south bank of the Humber there wasn't really a lot going on, so I think there was a feeling that there should be an arts centre in Scunthorpe. We've got 5 exhibition spaces here, so we've always got something for all tastes. We show contemporary art and crafts and design, from cutting edge stuff to stuff that's I guess that the general population might enjoy a bit more. I mean, at the moment we've got a wonderful exhibition by Anthony Gormley, Feel for the British Isles, which is one of the great works of 20th century sculpture. We're really privileged to have it here, and our programme's gradually building, so hopefully we're going to have more of the same over the coming months and years.
Fantastic, because Anthony Gormley is a very well-known name within the cultural arts world, isn't he? Yep. Do you attract them kind of big names here at the centre?
We've got a growing reputation, so we've been working with big collections. This piece actually comes on loan from the collection of the Arts Council down in London, so we've been working more with bigger galleries in other cities to bring great artists, but we also work with new artists that no one's ever heard of, and offer them their first show, and often they'll go on to big things after that. We're fantastically well supported here. We have thousands of visitors every month, so there's definitely a need for great art and for people to come here. I mean, just about everyone's creative. I mean, it might not be. They might not be interested in art. They might be interested in tattoos or the way they dress and things like that. We try and represent here as well. I mean, in the past we had a really big tattoo exhibition of tattoo art. We've had kind of cutting edge design work. We've shown kind of comic art. We had a big Judge Dredd show. So we try and encompass, I guess, the whole range of creativity in the community, and I think it shows through the enjoyment we have through our visitors.
I'm at the top of the bell tower here at the 2021 Visual Arts Centre, where I'm going to now partake in a spot of bell ringing with one of the local groups. Scunthorpe is home to its very own cycling celebrity, Albert Lal White. He worked at Lysart Steelworks by day and trained as a cyclist by night, winning a silver medal in the 1920 Olympic Games in Antwerp. He also rode in the 1924 Paris Olympics. A true hero, Lal died in 1965 at the age of 75, but his legacy and achievements live on. Lysart Steelworks and Lal White are no longer with us, but this fabulous portrait bench celebrates some of the famous names of Scunthorpe and recognises Lal's achievements, along with that of Jack Tighe, another famous cyclist from the region. In 2012, Susan Hollingworth told the story of Lal in Cycle Song. Albert Lal White,
yes,
a cycling celebrity right here in Scunthorpe.
Absolutely, one of the best cyclists in the country.
Of course. What's his story?
He was actually born in Brigg in, I think, 1890, and he came to Scunthorpe when he was 5. Lal went to work on the steelworks, and of course he cycled to work. And he must have found that he was a quicker cyclist than anybody else because he started to race. His first race was at 14.
What was your inspiration behind Cycle Song?
Well, in 2000 I'd taken a children's choir to the Cultural Olympiad in Sydney.
Fantastic.
So I knew in 2012 there would be a Cultural Olympiad in the country, and I thought, let's bid for some money and let's do something here in Scunthorpe. And I wanted to do a big choral event. So I went to see our local council and I talked about it to the arts officers, and they originally wanted to do something around dance. But I said I wanted to do something around singing. So they said, yes, we could do something around singing, but please would you do it about Lal White? Well, I'd never even heard of Lal White at the time.
So you didn't have a particular interest in him before then,
No, I mean,
Sue?
I do cycle, but I didn't know anything about him. So I went
Right.
home, I looked him up, and I went to the museum, started to find things, and I became really very interested in him. There's another interesting story about Lal White, and that's about the static bike. Do you know that?
Please tell me. I'm intrigued to know.
Do you ever train on a static bike? No. Well, it's got two rollers at the front and one at the back with a belt.
Right.
And you just cycle, it keeps going for you. And it was Lal and his brother invented that.
Oh, wow.
There was a shop in Scunthorpe that sold mangles. And he'd passed this shop every day and he thought, if only I could train in my shed, I'd be better. So, because on rainy days, he didn't want to go out, I suppose. So they bought 3 mangles. They put 2 at the front, 1 at the back, so there were the rollers and the mangles, and they connected them. And these were clever chaps. They
Absolutely.
connected them with a belt. And Lal used to train on his static bike, and then he started to take it to race meetings, and people can remember this contraption turning up, and he used to show people what he was training on, and of course that became, someone must have bought the patent from him or something.
So he helped develop the bike as we know it today.
The bike as we know it today, because people were training on these static rollers and these static bikes.
So obviously cycling was probably in Lal's blood by the sounds of it.
I think so.
I'm finishing my very enjoyable ride around Scunthorpe by meeting up with a cycle group. Founded in 1946, Scunthorpe Polycycling Club runs a track league at Quibble Park during the racing season. The club specialises in hard track and grass track racing, as well as enjoying considerable success in all areas of cycle racing. They have a strong team, but new members are always welcome.
The club started in the 1940s, so we've been going a long time now. Well, before I was born. So, yeah. So it's traditionally we've had track riders in our club over the years. So, and our club sponsor Jack Tighe was one of those riders in the early 40s, an international track rider.
So did he help found?
Well, the club was actually started by a chap called Reginald Pullin years ago. And we've got Reg to thank, actually, for this cycle track, because he was on the council and he lobbied and got everything. So this was how the cycle track first got started in the 60s.
Steve, what's your role within the club?
Well, I'm the club secretary, but I started in the club as a youngster, as at age 11, and I came down here and saw some cycle racing on this track and got hooked on it straight away and came down, got involved with the local club and got involved and it just progressed, and I went on to have a sort of racing career and did reasonably well, won a few races, and then as I've got older, I've sort of got into the organising side of it and things like that.
And it's good that you're still involved because you've got that history and link to the past, and obviously you've seen the club over the years develop with members, you know, coming and going.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen a lot of riders come through. I mean, one of our notable riders was Ben Swift, who went on to ride the Tour de France, now an international and world champion. So, you know, and you know, we're really proud of the velodrome, that we've had a lot of youngsters come through this velodrome who are now Olympic champions.
As always, if you've been inspired to get on your bike but want some tips and advice for riding in the countryside, download the free mobile app Cycle Yorkshire, Ride the Routes. You can also visit our website estuary.tv/on-your-bike for more details. I'm heading off to Grimsby and Cleethorpes next time for a spot of light refreshment in England's smallest pub, sailing, windmill style, and a visit to a community cycle hub in Grimsby. From Scunthorpe, safe cycling.
I'm looking at the car and the cyclist on my right, covering my brakes.
On Your Bike, in association with Safer Roads Humber, taking cycle safety seriously.